has accordingly approved the nomination of Justice Baffoe-Bonnie as Chief Justice.
The minority, they decided to frustrate the whole thing.
If Justice Baffoe-Bonnie is approved by Parliament today, Right Honourable Speaker, and the ECOWAS Court or Supreme Court decides otherwise.
Wondering why, after 17 years where he was appointed at the Supreme Court, he hasn't even been nominated as a Chief Justice yet.
He addressed questions posed by the committee with professionalism, clarity, and intellectual rigor.
The committee knows that the nominee demonstrated an outstanding competence, a very deep knowledge of the law, and a firm grasp of the judicial ethics.
The committee therefore recommend to the House, by majority decision, the adoption of the report of the approval of Justice Baffoe-Bonnie as Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana.
Mr. Baffoe-Bonnie is not somebody he is going to approve because he has less than 2 years to...
His exceptional vision of the judiciary and what he intends to do when this House approves his nomination was quite exceptional.
What are the characteristics of a good Chief Justice?
Experience is the best teacher.
Justice Baffoe-Bonnie coming in as the Chief Justice is going to put the law at the appropriate place.
I asked one question. I asked my lordship, what are the attributes of a good Chief Justice? Give me 5 attributes. She gave 1. And she turned and asked me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Justice Baffoe-Bonnie has been approved by Parliament as the Chief Justice for the country called Ghana. After so many hours of deliberation in Parliament today, finally it has come to an end. And today, I announce to you that Justice Baffoe-Bonnie is officially the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, in fact,
Honorable members, the motion has accordingly been adopted. This Honorable House has accordingly approved the nomination of Justice Baffoe-Bonnie as Chief Justice of the Republic in accordance with Article 114, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution, respectively.
The minority decided to make it very difficult. And even Afenyo-Markin, he stated it clearly that he's demanding a secret ballot to vote on his approval. He was asking that he's demanding that they do a secret ballot to approve Justice Baffoe-Bonnie. But you see, I've always told you that these people have stated it clearly that they are going to make it ungovernable, like they are going to make frustrated. Today, the final verdict is out, and we have Justice Baffoe-Bonnie as the Chief Justice of Ghana. Now, some of the issues that were raised in Parliament today as to approve Justice Baffoe-Bonnie, it started, like I told you, the minority, they decided to frustrate the whole thing. And they started by asking that they bring them the reports hard copies and all that. Meanwhile, it has been given to them on their tablets. Like they had the soft copies already, but this man was still asking for hard copy. These were some of the things just to delay the process, because as we are making this video, we are expecting the budget to be read at 2 p.m. And as at now, it's about 5 p.m. now, and we are yet to hear the budget. And so these were some of the things just to delay the process. But we had Mr. Ahiafo, Bernard Ahiafo, giving us the whole report again, telling us how the minority walked out at the time of the vetting and the majority stayed to, take Mr. Baffoe-Bonnie through the vetting. And based on the report, he's stating it clearly that after a careful deliberation and examination and everything, Mr. Baffoe-Bonnie was very articulate. Like his ways of answering the questions were very knowledgeable. Like he gave us proper knowledge of the law. And also he gave us a firm grasp of the judicial ethics. From Mr. Ahiafo, the report he gave us, according to him, Mr. Baffoe-Bonnie did not leave nothing was left out. He gave us everything on point. And so the committee knows that the nominee demonstrated an outstanding competence, a very deep knowledge of the law, and a firm grasp of the judicial ethics.
The committee recommends to the House, by majority decision, the approval of the nomination of Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie for the appointment as Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. Right Honorable Speaker, all the new patriotic members of the committee, minority, indicated before the vetting that they have voted against the nominee. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee acting in accordance with the provisions of Article 1441 of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana and Order 217 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, duly examined the nominee submitted by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana for appointment as Chief Justice. Upon careful deliberations, the committee knows that the nominee demonstrated outstanding competence, a very deep knowledge of the law, and a firm grasp of the judicial ethics. He addressed questions posed by the committee with professionalism, clarity, and intellectual rigor, reflecting his capacity to uphold the independence, integrity, and dignity of the highest court of the land. The committee is satisfied that the nominee possesses the requisite qualification, judicial temperament, and commitment to constitutional values expected of Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. In conclusion, all the members of New Patriotic Party minority were opposed and indicated from the onset before vetting that they are voting against the nomination of the Chief Justice nominee and subsequently walk out of the proceedings after the preliminary remark by the Honorable Minority Leader on behalf of the Minority Caucus. The committee therefore recommend to the House by majority decision the adoption of the report of the approval of Justice Baffoe-Bonnie as Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. Right Honorable Speaker, I so submit.
And so that is it from Mr. Ahiafo. And then Judge Reagan, Honorable Judge Reagan, also seconded what Mr. Ahiafo said and added up by saying that he's urging all the Parliament to approve his nominee, to approve Mr. Baffoe-Bonnie as the Chief Justice, and that he was going to do a very good job.
Mr. Speaker, his exceptional vision of the judiciary and what he intends to do when this House approves his nomination was quite exceptional. As the chairman rightly said, I will urge this House to approve the nomination of Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much.
Others also put across so many things, and we had Sami Awuku, Honorable Sami Awuku from the minority, stating it clearly that Mr. Baffoe-Bonnie is not somebody he is going to approve because he has less than 2 years to go on retirement. And so why are they in a rush for this process?
So, Speaker, what may likely create some genuine crisis in the minds of people will be the invitation of Parliament in helping install a new Chief Justice and the court subsequently, if matters before it are resolved and goes the other way. So, Speaker, for the avoidance of doubt, Article 144 mandates the President, and the President's power to also nominate a Chief Justice is not impaired at all, and it's not challenged. The President has exercised that power by nominating Justice Baffoe-Bonnie. Parliament's approval function, like all other constitutional powers, must also be exercised consistently with other constitutional provisions, Right Honorable Speaker, including the separation of powers, judicial independence, the sub judice rule, and also respect for pending processes. Right Honorable Speaker, Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie has less than 2 years to retire. And we respectfully hold the view that this process must also not be rushed. And with all the benefits available to him and the powers available to him as acting Chief Justice, we believe the balance of convenience arguments really can hold sway here. And what is this balance of convenient argument here? If Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie is approved by Parliament today, Right Honorable Speaker, and the ECOWAS Court or Supreme Court decides otherwise.
So basically, as for the minority, at some point they were asking that there should be an appropriate determination for this process. But at some point too, you could tell that, I mean, they just wanted to delay the process. And my question here is that after the court decides that, okay, Madam Tokonu is not guilty, or Madam Tokonu has not been treated fairly, and so this and this and that, are they expecting that Madam Tokonu gets back as a Chief Justice of Ghana? How is that going to be done? I don't get it. How is she going to serve the country called Ghana? Because already this is something that she has accepted that she did. And so I don't know why the minority is so particular in bringing Madam Tokonu back, where she has already admitted that she did something wrong that she's not supposed to do. Okay, we also had Honorable Mutaka. He also says that based on the records of based on the records of Mr. Paul Baffoe-Bonnie, he has given us an impeccable records and very experienced. And so with this, he's even wondering why after 17 years where he was appointed at the Supreme Court, he hasn't even been nominated as a Chief Justice yet. Because based on his records, he has proven himself well. He has proven himself well. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you also think? Do you think that Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie, based on what we saw at the vetting, his way of answering the questions, things he put across, were they things that really determined that Mr. Paul Baffoe-Bonnie is really someone that can lead the judiciary as a Chief Justice? But you know, like I said, after the back and forth minority, they go here and there trying to object and all that. Speaker of Parliament is always putting them in check. And at the end, there is a final say that he's now the Chief Justice. This is good news, if you ask me. And we are yet to see how things will go. Someone stated that the minority is just scared that the law is going to work this time around. Looking at the records of Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie. You know, Madam Zura, what's the name? Honorable Zura mentioned at a point, I've forgotten the name, I stand to be corrected if the name is not really right. She wanted to make a point, but she decided to celebrate women who are in the judiciary who have served as Chief Justice, and stated a point where at the time of vetting of Madam Tokun, she asked her a question that what are the characteristics of a good Chief Justice? And the answers did not, according to her, she gave her just one. And so per her view of what she wants to state is that looking at both of them, which is Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie and then Madam Tokonu, Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie will do a very good job because she was present at the vetting of Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie and then Madam Tokonu, and weighing the two, she feels Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie will do a very good job.
Experience is the best teacher. After 17 years, Justice Paul Baffoe-Bonnie demonstrated at vetting that this country and the judicial system of this country is going into very safe hands. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, I say this because as a woman, Mr. Speaker, and a champion of women leadership, I want to celebrate all the women Chief Justices that we've had. Yeah. We had Her Lordship Georgina Wood, who was appointed to the Supreme Court in 2002 and became Chief Justice in 2007. She reigned for 10 years, and we all saw the output of her work. Yes. It was not in question. Yes. Her capabilities were never in question. Mr. Speaker, we saw Her Lordship Sophia Akufu, who had spent 22 years at the Supreme Court before becoming a Chief Justice in 2017. Mr. Speaker, she exited the role with impeccable credentials. Mr. Speaker, again, let me say this to this House, and I want it on record. Again, I had the opportunity to be a member of the vetting committee, appointments committee that vetted Her Ladyship Tokono. Mr. Speaker, I recall I asked one question. I asked my Lordship, what are the attributes of a good Chief Justice? Give me 5 attributes. She gave one. And she turned and asked me, what did you say again?
Ladies and gentlemen, let me also know your thoughts in the comment section. For me, Parliament has spoken. Whom am I? Just as Speaker of Parliament stated that this issue of Madam Tokono is in court. And so there's no need bringing it into Parliament and talking about it. And we all will agree. And I'm so surprised that as a member of Parliament, you people do not know this part of the law, that when there's an issue in court, you do not discuss it. And even those that we don't know the law, that we sit on social media and discuss such things, even with us, we sometimes say it's that due to this case being in the court, we don't talk about it too much. But here is the minority busy bringing up Madam Tokono's issue when we are supposed to be dealing with Justice Baffoe-Bonnie in terms of approving him or not. Hey, minority, you should know better. You should know better. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, Justice Baffoe-Bonnie has been approved officially as the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to end with you. Don't forget the name still remains now here on Naa Lartey TV. Do you also think that Justice Baffoe-Bonnie coming in as the Chief Justice is going to put the law at the appropriate place? Let me know in the comment section, and don't forget, we're still clocking it here on Naa Lartey TV, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.